I'm gonna show you, got a 2 terabyte hard drive here, another terabyte hard drive, and I'm not sure what this is. Hi, my name is Brett with Anvil. Today's video is the reason why I only purchase LaCie drives. The LaCie hard drive is both a slim and compact model, but it houses tons and tons of file storage. Now, this is something about the LaCie that I just learned. I did not realize that this little thing is a tank. I mean, this thing can withstand water damage and can withstand a tank actually running over it. Don't ask me who would even try to do that, but it's just very durable because, you know, if you're traveling, you happen to drop it. That's like both reassuring to me. I've dropped my hard drives on carpet, but still I can appreciate that because in these hard drives, there are tiny little moving parts in them and you don't want your stuff to be annihilated if you happen to drop your hard drive. So this LaCie, of course, it's ideal for photographers, for video editors, for artists, for production managers, producers, all of the above. This is a great hard drive, especially if you're using Mac products. You won't have any issue trying to format or reformat this hard drive for your Apple computer. Just so you know, I have LaCie drives sitting around all around my studio. When I first got into music production, I was doing a little video editing as well. I needed a hard drive that was reliable. When you work with large files like I do, you want to be able to have a hard drive that you can store those files in and safely be able to retrieve them without an issue. Also, because I deal heavily in Mac products or Apple products, I needed something that was compatible for my Mac computers. If you have to save large files, I'm going to tell you, if you're not doing it, you need to be saving twice. That's just video editing and production 101. That's not really what I wanted to talk today about, but this is just a brief reminder for all of you beginners. Now, there were two things that I was looking for in a hard drive. The first thing, being able to have a large enough hard drive to save the files that I continuously use throughout my day. The second thing is I needed a hard drive that could give me a reliable speed. I'm constantly working in and out of files, so I need stuff to be saved within 5 to 10 minutes at least. I don't like sitting in front of the desk waiting for stuff to be saved or transferred. If you use Mac products, this is the hard drive for you. I'm not going to really get into Windows, even though I will give you a comparison. SanDisk is another product, a hard drive that I can compare the LaCie to. We'll get into that later. But I will say LaCie, for the most part, it's very durable, very small. You can carry it around. Also rugged. You know, if you happen to drop it, it's not going to break on you. So with the LaCie hard drive, you have two options. Basically, you can get either the HD or the SSD drive. I have another video on SSD hard drives. I use only SSD, and that's purely for the speed. It's even faster than the standard HD drive. All of these drives come with your standard USB-C cables or cords. So some of you are not going to like the price of the LaCie hard drive. You know, the price is a little bit higher than its competitors, but I can assure you, you win in the long run when it comes to durability of this hard drive. So I'm going to talk to you and I want to compare the LaCie hard drive to a SanDisk hard drive. The SanDisk, in my opinion, is the closest competition to the LaCie hard drive. So I like SanDisk as well. It's very rugged in its exterior, the material that they use to manufacture this hard drive. I'm not sure if it's waterproof, but it's pretty sturdy and it will hold you down in your day-to-day trips of going back and forth to different places. The SanDisk doesn't come cheap as well compared to the LaCie. These are not cheap drives, but I would say some of the pros for the SanDisk in comparison to the LaCie, it's also fast on the speed. Very high, fast transferable rates. Has a pretty nice looking design, as well as you do get a Thunderbolt 3 cable that comes with the SanDisk. So let me give you some cons about the SanDisk. And I know this is a LaCie video, but I wanted to compare, at least give you a comparison to another hard drive. So the cons to this SanDisk, it's higher costing per the gigabyte. It's really tricky to try to reformat this hard drive disk to Windows. So you want to be careful for that. It's actually a little bit slower in its transfer speed over USB-C. Just be careful in your transfer speeds. They're a little bit slower for the SanDisk versus the LaCie hard drive. Oh, you want me to talk about the LaCie pros and cons? And I love this. The LaCie actually is compatible with USB, the first generation, as well as the second generation cables, the USB-C, the ports. It has 2 different ports that you can use. The LaCie hard drive is extremely rugged against water, even crushing conditions. I'm not sure who's going out here and trying to crush a hard drive. You know, I'm sure there are people that work outside, but it's very durable in its exterior. Oh, here's a good one. You get a 5-year warranty with all LaCie products. So that's great. I've never had to return a LaCie product, just as information for you. So some of the cons to the LaCie hard drive. It's also very high per gigabyte. So this is an expensive hard drive. I probably said that about 3 or 4 times today. And the only other con that I consider a con is the cables. For some reason, they're really short. The cord is so short, it's going to dangle off of your desk. And even if you have a MacBook, it's just, the cord it's just way entirely too short. I hope that you are saving your work twice out there. I hope that you're also organized in what you're saving. It's very vital. I just recently started naming my hard drives. I would encourage you to stay organized. For example, one of my hard drives I may name as a artist file. I may name another one as a photo. This just helps me keep up with all of the files that I have going in and out of my studio. I mean, it was just like one day I woke up with like 10 different hard drives. So you can imagine it's just confusing because you got to go through all 10 of them to figure out where your files are. It's just a reminder to you when you're looking to purchase a hard drive, make sure you're both organized and you know where everything is. Speaking of size and speed, I have some graphs here. You can take a look at these graphs. It kind of shows you how the LaCie fares up against other competitors, i.e. the SanDisk, also the Western Digital hard drives. These are some graphs that you can kind of get a sense of how the transfer speed is, what you're looking for in terms of technology of these hard drives. If you happen to see another hard drive you'd like to add in the comments, please, by all means. I love to get your opinion on what hard drives you feel are the best hard drives for what your line of work is. That way we can get a discussion going, just so I can be informed, I can be educated as well. I'll say this, I do not endorse LaCie. They are not paying me for this video, but I do highly recommend this hard drive. This is just my opinion on this matter.